I'm delighted to be at the ACE, and it is a pleasure to be able to share with you about the impact of consumption tax, tariffs, and generative AI on welfare and inequality. What follows is my share of my videos on this topic, which will not last more than 10 minutes. My name is Xu Jiani. I'm currently studying economics marketing at RMIT. I am glad to have the opportunity to exchange in ACE today to further understand economics, which will be of significant help to my future career path. Today, I'm going to walk you through the impact of consumption taxes and duties on consumer and producer welfare and explore the influence of generative AI in marketplace. In addition, I will briefly explore how behavioral economics can be used to understand people's unhealthy food decisions. This is divided into 5 topic speeches. The role of consumption tax is to raise the price paid by consumers while reducing income received by producers. When consumption tax is imposed, both the consumer surplus and the producer surplus are reduced, and the reduced amount goes to the government in the form of taxes. However, the increase in price cuts by taxes makes it impossible to achieve optimal allocation of market resources, resulting in a waste of resources, that is, deadwood loss. This affects the welfare of consumers and producers. Tariffs are a tax imposed by a government on goods imported from abroad. The main effect is to raise the price of imported goods and thus influence domestic consumers and producers. In a free trade scenario without tariffs, the domestic price of goods is the world price, and demand and supply in the market balance at this price. When the tariff was introduced, the price rose to world price and tariff, resulting in the following effects. Price rising leads to a decrease in consumer supplies and an increase in producer supplies. Import tariffs lead to loss of market efficiency and deadwood losses. So, what is the real twist between a deadwood loss from a consumption tax and tariffs? The difference in deadwood losses between tariffs duties and consumption taxes is that import duties are levied only on imported goods, while consumption taxes are levied on all goods, whether of domestic or foreign origin. The deadwood loss from tariffs duties comes from 2 sources: from reduced consumption and loss of productivity. The deadwood loss of the consumption tax comes from the overall reduction in consumption cost by the increase in prices. Initially, the labor market for workers is at point A, where the quantity of workers is at Q1 while their wage is at W1. Assume that low-skilled workers can use generative AI to increase productivity. The demand for low-skilled workers increases. DL1 shifts to the right to DL2. The micro-equilibrium for low-skilled workers moved to point B. The low-skilled workers receive a higher wage at W2, reducing inequality, but demand for high-skilled workers has decreased. DL1 shifts to the left to DL3. The equilibrium for high-skilled workers moved to point C. The high-skilled workers received a low wage at W3, which reduced inequality. But to achieve opposite, generative AI will increase the inequality gap in the labor market, so low-skilled workers cannot take advantage of generative AI to increase productivity. Demand for low-skilled workers are few, but high-skilled workers are capable. The labor market chart between workers on both sides is switched, and the income gap is at point B to C. Initially, the micro-equilibrium is at point A, where output is at Y asterisk and price level is at P1. As generative AI increases productivity, companies are increasing their investment in it. As investment grows, so does aggregate demand. 81 shifts to the right to 82. Generative AI has been proven to really increase productivity. SRAS1 will shift to the right to SRAS2, since productivity and output are on higher level. LRAS1 will shift to the right to LRAS2. The macro equilibrium will be at point B in the long run. Based on the previous analysis that the firms have invested in generative AI, aggregate demand increased 81 shifts right to 82. It turns out that generative AI leaves productivity unchanged. SRAS1 will remain unchanged since productivity remains unchanged. In the short run, the microequilibrium moves from point A to point B, where output and price levels increases. Due to an inflationary pressure, the cost of production rises since input price increase. SRAS1 will shift to the left to SRAS2. The microequilibrium moves from point B to point C in the long run. Output has reverted back to Y arithmetic from Y1 as arithmetic while the price level has increased from P2 to P3. So, from the perspective of behavioral economics, why do people choose unhealthy foods even if they crave healthy eating? In loose conversation, when it comes to diet, choosing healthy food can mean losing the taste of the unhealthy foods they are used to, leading to the inability to completely abandon unhealthy foods, even they are willing to change. In time performance, unhealthy foods can quickly bring pleasure, while their long-term health risks are overlooked. In consumer preferences, the marketing of unhealthy foods is often advantaged through appealing packaging or promotional means to keep consumers attracted without adequate consideration for the actual nutrition of food. In default bias, for example, there are more unhealthy options on menus that people often choose the most popular unhealthy food based on the herd mentality, rather than spending extra time and energy look for healthy alternatives. That's all. Thank you.